Hello and welcome to today's remote healing group session. I have done the dowsing beforehand for what we need to work on today, and I have all my tools ready, so I am ready to dive in and guide you through the process. I've got my layout here next to me where I'm going to be working with the universal pendulums, which I've got here as well. Let's just grab them. So I'll be using these two babies today, and they're going to assist us in the work. And I'm also using the Wands of Horus cards, the energetic cards. They're very, very small, but they do pack a punch. And what I'll do is I'll quickly share a screen with you just to show you what the layout is that we have. Share screen. There we go. So today we have a Tree of Life formation, and in this deck of energized cards, I've got 27 cards and it allows to see which card goes into what position. So basically what we have here, I'm not going to go through too much detail about what these positions and cards mean, but I'll just quickly run through what we have here. So in the crown position on top, we have the Ankh, which is the life. This takes us down to the next position, which is the wisdom location, and this is Tet or protection. Then we go over to the understanding section. This is radiance. And then we go to the Gnosis, which is Ankh or the immortal self. Then we go down to mercy. This is the Sachem or power card. And then we go across to the next side, which is strength, and this is the Khat or the vital essence or our astral body. We then go down to equilibrium, and this is breath. So I think just if we're just having a look at this sort of central column of what it says here, life is sort of the goal or the ultimate where we're wanting to go, and our immortal self is sitting here in the center, and the breath is that connection. You'll soon see how this ties in as well. And then when we go down to the victory section, this is synchronicity. So probably a reminder to watch out for synchronicities in the week to come. And then we go over to glory side, which is our physical body, the Khat. And so it's quite nice to see how they all tie in if you know what to look for here. And then we go to the foundation, which is the heart or Ib. So again, we've got life, immortal self, breath, and heart. And then the final one, the kingdom, is the receive card. So I think all in all, especially the central column is actually quite telling this session about what we are working with. So I hope that you all receive well and true through this session that we are going to do today. I drew two cards as well from the Book of Doors deck, and they both happen to be in the sort of the first part of the deck, both cards that came up, and they concentric and or consecutive. So the way that it works with this particular deck is I've got this 8-sided die and I throw it, and it gives me the house, throw it again, gives me the god or the card associated with that, and then I do the same thing again, and we happen to get 1, 1, 1, 2. That was the throw of the die. And so the first card that we have is Nut. So I've got a close-up of that one, but I think it's okay. You guys can see here. Nut is the sky goddess. So this is all about powerful protection, and it's the ability to transcend limitations. So it's also a reminder of our being in the vastness of the cosmos. So there's much more to this world than we can perceive right here. And so this would tie in with the overarching energy of what today's balance is all about. Where we're wanting to go, or our direction, is to Nu, and this is all about the beginning and the end. So you can see that we've got the spiral pattern there. So this is about new beginnings, but it's also about ending things that no longer serve. And so it was continuous spiral of beginning and ending. And so it could indicate that there's going to be a new beginning of new potent transformations, and these transformations are going to have some far-reaching possibilities for us. So let's dive into the work. I'll stop share over here. I can close that window. And let me just get myself organized. I've got so many windows open here. So I've got our form that we're working with all of the information that I've already doused, just so that we can do the work. And so throughout the session, I'm going to bring to your attention some emotions. And if you do not connect with a specific emotion, just imagine what it would feel like if you were to feel that emotion. So I've got all of your random numbers in here. I've got them on the chart as well next to me here. And so we are going to be focusing on your particular individual illnesses, conditions, issues, blocks, whatever it is that is holding you back. But remember, this is a group session. So each of you will have to do the work, the individual work, to make the connections and see how the information that comes through today is going to be relevant in your life. So you each know what your goal or your issue or your direction is, and you all have sent through to me what your stuff is or what your issues are. So I've got that, but I am working with a large group of people here, so I'm going to put the ball back into your court. Our first emotion that came up, this is in relation to your specific goal or direction or focus that you are wanting to work on today. So perhaps if you are not sure, pause the video right now and just come to yourself, come into your heart space and just find what is your intention or your focus or your direction for today's session, and then see how these emotions will connect with what your focus is. So our first emotion that comes up is willing, and it's in relation to independence. Willing in relation to independence. What does that mean for you? Also, what comes up in relation to willing and independence is secondary gain. So secondary gain is the excuses we make. I can't do this right now because I have this illness. I can't do this right now because I don't have the money. I can't do this right now because of whatever. Any excuse that we make. So perhaps I can't be willing to be independent right now because of blah, blah, blah. What is the secondary gain? What do you gain from having this excuse? Willing in relation to independence. Okay. So I'm going to quickly just check now that I've got all of you online and you here, I'm checking the stress levels of the group as a whole. Stress levels comes to about 70% over here. Let's look at life energy. This is your energy that you can give towards your goal or your focus. And I've got 20% over here. So stress is quite high and the life energy is low. So that's not going to help us. We move on to our sabotage. This is our excuses and our shadow beliefs. And our excuse that we have today, or our shadow belief or sabotage, is I have abundant energy. I do not have abundant energy. Where do you use this as an excuse? I do not have abundant energy, or even I have abundant energy. It could be either one of the two. Our sabotage emotion that goes with this is stumble, and it's in relation to loyalty. Now, loyalty can be towards yourself. It could be towards others. It could be others' loyalties towards you. Stumble. How does this I have or I do not have abundant energy make you stumble? Okay. Don't overthink any of these things. Just whatever comes to your mind first. That's usually the thing it is. Don't question too much in it. And also don't have to analyze too much. Just allow yourself to feel these feelings and be okay with it, because we are going to be clearing them as we go along. Okay. So what I want you to do is just focus on whatever it is that your goal is, your intention or your direction, wherever you want to go. Feel into our first emotion that we had, willing in relation to independence. And also the excuse or the sabotage, I do not have abundant energy, in relation to stumble and loyalty. And then take your fingers in a line like that, fingertips almost like in a straight line, and place that on the top of your head. And I'm just going to test, can you see yourself completing this goal? Okay, so pendulum says no. So whatever it is that you wanted to focus, or your goals or your directions you wanting to go. Even if you want to go there, the body is saying, I actually don't have the power to do that. I don't have the ability to do that. Challenge willingness to release the need for the problem. You may release the hands, by the way. Willingness to accept benefits of change, willingness to implement changes, and 100% protected through the outworkings of this balance. Permission to continue, any reason not to. Okay, so we are good to go. So we're going to start off, we're doing a Merkaba balance today. So working on balancing the Merkaba field. And the Merkaba is these tetrahedrons, two tetrahedrons, one pointing up, one pointing down, that sits around us, our energy bodies. So it's very big energies, and these spin around and they act as our vehicle for our energy and our bodies in this life. And if we can get these tetrahedrons to spin properly and be clear, and they have no disturbances or issues in them or blocked energies, then our energy and our wants and desires and goals can be reached as well, because we are in alignment with our field, and that will trickle down into our auric field, which trickles down into our etheric body, which trickles down into the physical body. So for a moment, drop into your heart space, close your eyes, become aware of your heart. And imagine from your heart that you send a connection out to everybody in this group today. So we'll be forming quite a significant shape or geometric shape between all of us. From your heart, send a connection down to the heart of the earth. And this could look like a stream or a beam, a line, string, whatever is appropriate for you. Just whatever works to make that connection. Now imagine at the heart of the earth, there's a beautiful, bright, brilliant light. And allow this light to stream up along your connection and into your body, filling your body with this beautiful, bright light. Now from your heart, send a connection up to the all that is, Source or God, whatever is appropriate for you. Again, becoming aware of this connection and this beautiful, brilliant, bright light at the heart of the all that is. And allow this light to stream down along the connection and into your body, filling your body. And just becoming aware of your body again, and then firmly plant your feet into the ground, just to ground the energies and the work to come. And then you may open your eyes. So let's check the current flow of prana within our Merkaba field. So again, this is a group session, so I'm working as a group with the group. It's not bad. We've got a 75% prana flow. We'd like to have that higher, but that's okay. 75 is actually really, really good. The emotion that comes up in relation to this flow of prana within our Merkaba field is fly, and it's in relation to beliefs about others. So what are our beliefs about others when it comes to the word fly? Perhaps we see others fly and we go, why can they fly and I can't? Perhaps we fly and we look down and go like, why can't others fly? What are our beliefs around fly and around this beliefs in others? So I'm going to let you sit with that one. Just feel into it. Whatever comes up for you, you're going to look at that. And I'm going to start clearing some blockages here. I'm using the lunar white universal pendulum at the moment. And we're going to be working on the magnetic frequency, and the color that's coming through, or the radiostatic color that's coming through, is magenta. Okay. I'm just finding my location on here. And we're working on the third octave. Third octave is the physical level. Oops, sorry, not the when the first octave, not the third. Where am I? Okay, let's try this again. So on the first octave is a spiritual level. So focus on fly in relation to beliefs about others. I'm sending the energy through, the radiostatic energy of magenta. Magenta is all about focus and balance. It's a spiritually uplifting energy. It's about raising your frequency, bringing harmony. Just breathing nice, slow and deep. Just receive this magenta radiostatic frequency. Become aware of any sensations you feel within the body. Good. That one is complete. Next, we're adjusting the flow of energy within the Merkaba. We're working with the electric field, and our energy that we're working with here, we're working with lunar black. So the black pendulum, even though it's white, it's got a little black spot. And let's find our location electric, and I am on ultra white. Okay. So this one's on the third octave, which is the physical octave. So we're going to be adjusting the flow of energy. Just become aware of your bodies again. Nice, slow, deep breathing. And we're bringing in the frequency of ultra white on the third octave, so on the physical level. Adjusting the flow of the Merkaba in general. Ultra white is all about divine power. This is a very cleansing, clearing energy. So just nice, slow, deep breathing. Close your eyes and just perceive. Almost done spinning. Okay, that is complete. Let's reset the pendulum. Okay. Let's check our flow of prana now within the Merkaba. Okay, that's at about 98%. So not going to bother too much with going deeper into this one, because as we cleanse, clear, and heal the other aspects of the Merkaba, that one will sort itself out. Okay, next we want to look at the activity within our Merkaba fields. So let's just quickly look at the activity percentage. We've got a 60% over there. Okay, and the emotion that comes up when we look at the activity within the Merkaba field is void, and it's in relation to self. So just feel into what void means for you. How does that feel? And in relation to self. I'm going to check the measurement for the upward facing tetrahedron, percentage-wise. That one's a bit low. That's sitting at about 35%. My emotion that comes up is rule, and it's in relation to social dependence. So a rule in association or in relation to social dependence, what does that mean for you? Rule could be someone ruling you, or it could be a rule as in rules and regulations. Social dependence. So this is people who socially depend on you. And we'll leave it at that. You can feel into that, what that means for you. Downward facing tetrahedron, let's just quickly check the value over there. And that one's at 55%. And our emotion that we get here is stupid, and it's in relation to appreciation. Stupid in relation to appreciation. Just feel into that, what it means. Again, if at any point you feel you need a little bit more time to feel into an emotion, pause the video and tune into your heart space and just tune into what it feels like to have that emotion. The deeper we feel, the deeper we heal. So if you are just sitting listening to this, that's just going to flow around the background. So you've got to do a little bit of work here. If stupid and in relation to appreciation, for example, is not something that you ever feel, imagine what it would feel like if you were to feel that. Even if you have to bring yourself into someone else's body who feels this on a regular basis. But try and feel what that emotion feels for you and make an association for yourself. This association is your own personal association. There's no right or wrong answers. And these things that pop up in our minds where you go like, oh no, I'm just making this up. Those are exactly the ones that you want to focus on. Because remember, anything that comes through the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind will imagine or pretend or will bring things through. But the conscious mind is the one that analyzes and that picks and says, oh no, this can't be that. This can't be that. So allow yourself to grab the first thing that comes up. That is the correct one. Just sit with that. So tune into your heart space. We're now going into the heart of the Merkaba. Let's see what is there. The emotion that comes up is virtuous, and it's in relation to shadow. Virtuous in relation to the shadow. How many of you deny the shadow or think that the shadow is bad? Shadow side that we have is our bad side. The ones that people don't want to see. So we hide it or we run away from it. We don't want to see it at all. Here we're looking at what is the virtue of the shadow. What is the good things that the shadow can bring you? So while you are focusing on that, I'm going to be working on this. We're working on the electric frequency. I've got Luna White again, and our frequency that we're working with is radiostatic color orange. We're working on the second octave. Second octave is the mental emotional side. So I'm going to be sending that frequency in. Focus on virtuous in relation to shadow. You want to see what are the good qualities that your shadow aspects can bring you when you open up to them, instead of running away from them, instead of denying them. There's a great power there. Orange in general is about elimination. It's about waste and purging. It's a good cleansing color. So in this case, we don't necessarily want to purge or eliminate the shadow. The shadow is there. There's lessons the shadow brings us. Remember, where there's light, there's a shadow. If you focus on the light and you beam light around you, there's going to be a shadow. What are the lessons or experiences this shadow brings? Good. And move on to the next step. Next, we're going to look at the polarity for the Merkaba. So I'm looking at the overall polarity. I'd like it to be black at 0, which is a nice 0-point energy, but let's see where it goes. Okay, So the polarity that I've got here, overall polarity is minus 20%. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on this and then see what comes up. Let's look at just the upward facing tetrahedron. What is its percentage within this 20%? What is its percentage flow of energy? Okay, I've got a 20% over there as well. And, oh, I can't make these things up. So the upward facing tetrahedron is usually your masculine side. And the emotion that came up here is blow, and it's in relation to masculinity. Blow in relation to masculinity. Now, whether you're male or female, we all have a masculine side. So what does blow in relation to masculinity mean for you? What comes up? And how would you feel that this blocks you from what it is you want to achieve? Now I want you to visualize or imagine or see in your mind's eye this upward facing tetrahedron. So it's a three-sided pyramid pointing up. It's nice and big. So maybe it starts at the base of your feet and it goes all the way up over your head. You can make it bigger as well. So just see this three-sided pyramid pointing up and scan this tetrahedron for any blockages, tears, damage, dense energy, stagnant energy, maybe color changes. Allow yourself to completely see this 3D tetrahedron and see if there's any energies in there that is not meant to be there. I'll give you a moment for that. While you are busy with that, I'll get myself ready for the next color. Color frequency that we're working with, or radiostatic color that we're working with here, is negative green. And it's on the third octave, which is for the physical body. So this is actually an incredible color to use for clearing all of those dense areas and blocks and tears. So focus on your tetrahedron. Nice, slow, deep breathing. Receive this energy. Perhaps as I'm working, you may see that your tetrahedron colors change. Perhaps you can see blockages, tears being fixed and healed, or any dense energy being released. Negative green is a carrier wave for information and energy. It's really, really good for liberating blocks. Balances polarities, which is perfect for where we are right now. And it also dissolves any stagnation. So fantastic color for this. Nice, slow, deep breathing. There we go. All done. Okay. Next, we're going to infuse this tetrahedron with light. I'm using Luna White for this one. And our color that we've got is infrared. So let's get this in position. We're working on the second octave, mental emotional level. Focus on that upward facing tetrahedron. We're infusing this tetrahedron with light now. Nice, slow, deep breathing. Infrared's a really good color for this as well, as it stimulates energy. It's very good grounding energy. And if there's still any parts of your upward facing tetrahedron that has not repaired and healed, the infrared is really good for that. Slow, deep breathing to receive the energy. Good. Right. Let's move on to the downward facing tetrahedron. Let's see what's happening there percentage-wise. We've got 80% over there. I guess that makes sense with what we have. The emotion that comes up here for the downward facing tetrahedron is resourceful, and it's in relation to entities. This is quite a weird one. Resourceful, and it's in relation to entities. Now, entities can be actual entities, like attachments, but it could also be thought forms. So it could just be thoughts. It could be governing bodies, perhaps, or groups within a system. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing here. So we're looking at resourceful, and it's in relation to entities. Just feel into what that feels like for you and what that means for you, and get a sense of what it feels like, where it's sitting. Then imagine or visualize or see this downward facing tetrahedron. Again, it's a three-sided pyramid, and this one's facing down. It's big enough to hold your body. So when both of these tetrahedrons overlap each other, they form what's like something that looks like a Star of David. Probably, this is just a very small version of it. It will look something like that. And the circle, the smallest circle, is where the human body would be sitting inside that tetrahedrons. Okay, so visualizing this downward facing tetrahedron, and scan through that and see if there's any blockages, tears, damaged areas, densities, etc., etc. See what the colors are, how it looks, and how it feels. While you're doing that, I'm going to bring in our next frequency. We're looking at bringing in silver. And this is on the first octave, which is the spiritual level. So we're using this to clear and dissolve any dense blocks, tears, and any other densities within your Merkaba. The silver is really good at purifying toxins and cleansing the system. Nice, slow, deep breathing. You see your downward facing tetrahedron being washed and cleansed and purified. Good. Okay, so next we're going to infuse with light, and again we've got infrared coming through here. This is on the magnetic frequency though, so slightly different to the last infrared that we had coming through. And this is on our second octave. So focusing on your downward facing tetrahedron, we're infusing that tetrahedron with light now. Nice, slow, deep breathing. You may imagine or see this light coming in, streaming in, infusing your tetrahedron with light. Okay, let's look at the overall percentage of the macabre. There we go. Now we're good at 0, which is our 0 point energy. That's perfect. And let's see the upward facing tetrahedron. And that's going at 100%. Downward facing tetrahedron. And that one's also going at 100%. So that's giving us a good balance over there. Okay, so next, imagine a beam or a column of light forming around your tetrahedrons, upward and downward facing tetrahedrons. And this column of light goes all the way from the heart of the earth all the way up to source, or the heart of all that is. And your tetrahedrons, or your macabre field, is sitting inside this column of light. Now, as you're scanning through this column of light, you're going to scan through or see or feel if there are any blockages, any obstructions, any dense energies, any tears, any damage, anything like that. Just become aware of what's happening in your column of light. Is it a clear flow? Does it feel like it's flowing well and easy? Or are there anything holding back on the frequencies? The emotion that comes up in relation to column of light is liquidate, and it's in relation to love within or love with. So this could be love with another person, or it could be love for yourself, love within, liquidate. What does that mean for you? And where do you feel this in the body? Liquidate in relation to love with or love within. And how would that relate? Probably don't have to really ask that question. How would that relate to the column of light? But that is just a relevance or something extra bit of information you can focus on. We're still focusing on the column of light and what the frequencies are and if there's any blockages within that. And then I'm going to get ourselves ready for our next frequency. Bring in ultraviolet radiostatic color on the 3rd octave, which is the physical level. And we're going to clear and dissolve any blockages, dense energies, any obstructions, any tears or anything like that. We're just clearing, cleansing, and healing those. So nice slow deep breathing and just receive. Ultraviolet's really, really good at repairing the DNA. It's also good at eliminating any blocks that we may have. And if there's too much yin energy in an area, so yin energy is our slow moving feminine energy, then it deactivates that. So it will activate more yang energy, which is more action. UV is also really good at expanding the mind. But we are on the 3rd octave over here, so most likely we're zoning in on the DNA level. Still focusing on liquidate in relation to love within or love with. And cleansing and clearing and dissolving the column of light. Okay. Right. We're going to infuse with light, so I'm going to just get our pendulum into its position. We are working with the frequency of red, and it's in the 1st octave. So we're going to infuse radiostatic color red into your column of light. Just take note, this column of light is pure white. So even if I infuse red into that, it doesn't mean your column of light is going to become a red. It will still be a white column of light. It will absorb all of this frequency. So just receive nice slow deep breathing as we're infusing light into this column of light now that it has been cleared and cleansed and dissolved. So red is a warming color. It helps to expand and revitalize frequencies. So revitalizing and strengthening and expanding our column of light. Also strengthens it and stimulates the energy. So getting the light to circulate and flow. There we go. Okay, let's get into spinning our Merkaba fields. So I want you to visualize or focus in on that upward facing tetrahedron. So use the power of your mind to make this as real as possible. To see it as a 3D shape around your body. And what you want to do is we want to get this Merkaba to spin so that when you get a corner, the corner will go from your right side over to your left side. So see this pyramid, upward facing pyramid, and it's spinning right over to left, right over to left. So use your mind, start spinning it. Maybe spin slowly in the beginning. Some people may find it beneficial to even use their hand as a representation for that particular spin. If you want to, you may pause this. Let's bring our focus and awareness to the downward facing tetrahedron. And this one is going to spin from left over to right. So left to right. So again, if you want to use your hands to help, you can do that. And maybe spin it slowly, but focus on that spin. And so what we want to do now is we want to combine the two by having the one spinning right to left, and the other one spinning left to right. So using your mind, I find it quite easy to do with my mind, but some people find it easier to use their hands to help with that. Whatever is going to help you to get the spin going. While that is going, I'm going to just quickly set our pendulum in our position. We are working with interdimensional, or not interdimensional, interdimensional beings. So we're looking at angels, archangels, ascended masters, and any other frequencies and energies like that. We are looking at the first octave, and this is a spiritual level. So you are focusing all of your mind on your spinning tetrahedrons. I'm infusing over here. We're reconnecting the heart of your tetrahedron while you are focusing on that. We are calling on the interdimensional beings. So if there's any interdimensional beings, angels, archangels, ascended masters, you can call those in to help you with this position, to reconnect you to your heart, reconnect to the heart of your Merkaba. Good. You are going to continue focusing your attention on those spinning Merkabas. So keep focusing on that. We're going to set up a protection. So let's get our color. And we've got color red again. Yeah, we had red. I can't remember. Yes, we have red. Okay, and it is in the second octave. So we're setting up protection for our Merkaba. Still focusing on the spinning fields, your spinning Merkaba. Perhaps you can close your eyes, nice slow deep breathing. Upward facing tetrahedron spinning from right to left. Downward facing tetrahedron spinning from left to right. And just in your mind, or even out loud, say the following words. Create a bubble of energy around, which will filter all energies coming to me. so that only energy that will pass through will be divine love for the greatest good of all creation. Thank you. Still keeping your focus and your awareness on those spinning tetrahedrons. Okay. Next, we're going to do a connection on the tetrahedrons or for your Merkaba field itself. And let's get my frequency in that I need here. We're working with silver on the first octave. You're still focusing on the tetrahedron spinning. We want to connect. Close your eyes, focus on the spins. And in your mind or out loud, repeat the following. Simplify all messages that I receive from my soul so that I can understand them better for the greatest good of all creation. Thank you. All right. Next, we're going to get flow of love coming through your Merkaba field. And we get our color going. We are working with white frequency. And it's also on the first octave, the spiritual level. Still focusing on those spinning Merkabas. Close your eyes, nicely deep breathing. And in your mind's eye or out loud, repeat the following. Bring in abundance of light, love, laughter, and joy of life into my life, so that I will always have everything that I desire with ease and grace for the greatest good of all creation. Thank you. Good. Bring your awareness and your focus back into the physical body. You can let go of seeing those tetrahedrons spinning. They can continue spinning, but you don't have to focus on them anymore. Just focusing on the body, being present in this now reality. And then firmly plant your feet into the ground, just grounding the energies. So we have a few energies we need to clear or infuse into our system. And you'll see which ones it is that we are clearing and which ones we are infusing. The first one is going to be a negative one that we need to clear. Let's quickly just see what meridian we can use here for that one. So it's going to be an interesting tap. You want to tap on the tear duct as close as you can get to the tear duct. If that is uncomfortable for whatever reason, you can tap a little bit higher just in the brows in line with the tear duct. But if you can get to the tear duct, that'll be good. So you want to tap over there. At the same time, we want to do eye rotations. So eye rotations means you want to stretch the eyes in a circular motion around, and we're going to repeat that both directions. So we're going to look up, diagonals, or to the side, diagonal down, down, diagonal down, side, diagonal up, and then reverse that direction, stretching the eyes as far as possible so that we can access different aspects or parts of the brain while we do the clearing. The tapping that we're doing is the meridian point. This is the bladder meridian that we're going to be working with, and it's a access point. It's like opening, it's like finding the open door or window where we can get in, where we can clear this. So our emotion that we've got is picked on. So we're going to say, I feel picked on, I feel picked on, I feel picked on, while we tap and do eye rotations. So we'll do that. I feel picked on, 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 I feel picked on. Right. Next one is going to be self-reliant. And for that one, we're going to be tapping on the mastoid process. It's just behind the ears. So in relation to the earlobes, just go back a little bit. You'll see there's a little round bone at the back. And we're going to be tapping on that bone. Self-reliant. I feel self-reliant, 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 I feel self-reliant. You may find that when we're doing all this tapping and eye rotations, the brain sort of goes all muddled up and it goes like, I can't say the words. That's all good. Just keep going and stretch the eyes as far as possible so we can access those different parts of the brain. Our final emotion is at peace. We're going to do the same tapping the mastoid process in the back and eye rotations. I feel at peace, 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 I feel at peace. And let's check our stress levels. Right, yeah, stress levels are down to 10%. Life energy towards our goals. And that's sitting at a delicious 80. So much better than what we had before as a group. What did we have in the beginning? 70% for stress and 20% for life energy. We've got 10% stress now and 80% life energy. Okay, so I like to finish off with an Aura Soma bottle. Aura Soma bottles, they're really fantastic. They've got this sort of two-tone bottle and they have some spiritual message and also some energy. So the lower part of the bottle has herbal tinctures and crystal essences and coloring in. The top part has essential oils and all kinds of oil mixes and also color into them. And they give us some really great insights and also some beautiful energy around that. So the bottle that came up for you guys today is Orin and Angelica. So I will quickly share screen with you so that you can see what this bottle would look like. Oops, what am I doing here? Okay, Orin and Angelica. So I guess you can see, I hope you can see that. So Orange and Angelica, the sort of the main theme around this bottle is about inner and outer journeys. This is about sensitivities that we have, and it helps to build bridges between our body and our mind, or between matter and the mind. And sometimes it helps us to experience life like a child. And so this is always a good thing if we can go back to our childlike nature where we experience life as though it's new and fresh. This is also the energy associated with travel. So perhaps we will be traveling at some point, I hope so. That'll be quite nice. And Yeah, so what I'll do is the information for this bottle I will actually place in the description below. So I'm not going to read through everything here, but what I will quickly highlight here is the affirmation, and that is, I reach the here and now, and change is taking place. I reach the here and now, and change is taking place. I reach the here and now, and change is taking place. And I'll also just pop the bottle onto our thumbnail so that you can see that later on as well. Okay, so that is our Orasoma bottle for this session. And I'm getting kind of knotted up in my wires over here. I checked for homework that you need to do. Homework is a way that you can anchor in and hold the balance for longer. This is entirely up to you whether you're going to do the homework or not, but if you can, it'll find a way to just anchor you, basically saying to your body and your soul, I heard you and I'm here and I'm also doing some work. And the support or homework that you have is, number one, posture therapy. So this could be actually going for posture therapy with someone, or it could just be becoming aware of your posture. When we are depressed or down on the dumps, we tend to slouch forward and we close the heart space. When we are confident and strong, we open up the chest and the shoulders are open and back. And so the posture is how we hold ourselves, how we carry ourselves. It may even be something like yoga or something where you're focusing more consciously on posture, perhaps even ballet, where we are definitely forced to hold posture in place and in mind. So posture therapy is your one piece of homework. Your other piece of homework is family. And this could be perhaps just reaching out to family, spending time with family, connecting with family, or perhaps even going into feeling about what is family, what is the family influence that brought you to where you are right now in your life. That could be good or bad. If it's bad, just remember that people do the best they can with the best tools that they've got available. So your parents, no matter how good or bad it was, did their very best. And same with your siblings. So when it comes to family, see what comes up for you. But this is homework or support. So see how you can work with that. And so we're just going to do one final thing, and let's take middle finger and just press down on that bone, on the muscle presses behind your ear. Just give it a nice good squeeze. That's just to anchor it in, and then you can release. Perhaps take a nice slow deep breath. And then that is our session for today. See what works for you, see what resonates with you, and yeah, the work is done, but it's always nice to have a little bit of understanding or to go a little bit deeper in. And I'm just going to do a finishing off routine over here. That's going to be off camera. So I will see you around, and I hope that you had a very good session. Many blessings to you.